I had always trusted her, or at least I thought I had. Her name was Laura, and when we met, I believed she was different. Sweet, charming, funny, someone I could imagine building a life with. We had been together for 5 years, engaged for 1. Everything seemed perfect on the surface. But beneath that charm, there was a streak of recklessness, a desire for attention that I hadn't fully noticed, until it was too late. It started subtly. At parties, she would laugh a little too long at a joke, brush her hand against a man's arm in a way that seemed innocent but felt deliberate. I noticed, of course, but I tried to shrug it off. One night, at a friend's gathering, she took it further. She danced with a man I didn't know, pressing close, whispering in his ear, and then looked at me with a mischievous grin. "What are you doing?" I asked quietly, my tone tense but calm. She laughed. "Relax, I'm just having fun." "You're so dramatic." I forced a smile and turned away, but inside, anger burned. It wasn't just flirtation, it was a test. And I realized then that she had been doing it for weeks, maybe months. Every party, every dinner, every outing, she flirted with men to see how I'd react. Texts, social media likes, lingering touches. It was intentional. At first, I thought maybe she was just playful, that I was overreacting. But the pattern was clear. She wanted a reaction. She wanted me to show jealousy, to prove I cared, or to prove I was weak. I decided to change tactics. If she wanted a reaction, I would give her one, but not the one she expected. I started by documenting everything. Messages, photos, social media activity. Every flirt, every smirk, every subtle betrayal. I knew I'd need evidence if this escalated. Then, I stopped chasing her attention. I stopped reacting. When she teased or flirted, I smiled politely, thanked the men for their conversation, and walked away. She noticed. Her smirk faltered. Her usual games didn't provoke me. One evening, she tried her boldest move yet. At a large party, she wore a dress that drew every eye, then strategically mingled with the men she knew I would notice. I let her. I laughed with friends, mingled naturally, completely unbothered. I didn't touch my phone. I didn't look at her. Hours passed, and she grew visibly frustrated. The attention she craved didn't elicit any reaction. For the first time, she was losing control. When the night ended, she confronted me outside. "Why aren't you jealous? Why aren't you saying anything?" I looked her in the eye, calm, collected, and said, "Because I'm done playing games. I'm done being manipulated. And I don't want this marriage anymore." Her eyes widened. "What? You can't just." "I can," I interrupted. "I've tolerated this for too long. Your flirting, your tests, your disrespect. It ends now. And so do we." She screamed, cried, accused me of overreacting. But this wasn't a moment of anger. It was clarity. I had seen the pattern, and I refused to participate. The next day, I met with a lawyer. Divorce papers were prepared quietly, efficiently. She tried to bargain, to beg, to convince me she could change. But I wasn't interested. In the weeks that followed, I moved out of our shared apartment. I took my belongings and left her with the space she had already treated like a stage. Her friends noticed the shift. She couldn't provoke me anymore. Her usual games failed. And slowly, the truth of her behavior became apparent to everyone around her. When she realized she had lost not just me, but the control she wielded, panic set in. Calls, texts, apologies flooded my phone. I ignored them all. I had one final message for her. "I'm done. Your games, your manipulations, your testing, it's over." I walked away. You can either learn or continue alone. Months later, she was alone. Friends who once enabled her behavior distanced themselves. Men who once laughed at her charm ignored her advances. And me. I was free. Free from games, free from manipulation, free from someone who valued attention over respect, thrill over loyalty. She flirted with every man to see if I'd react. I didn't react. And by doing nothing, I ended everything she had once controlled. Sometimes, the most powerful response isn't anger. It's calm, collected action. Because when someone plays with your heart, walking away is the ultimate victory.